Hello everyone and welcome to the first session of this channel. My name is Bruno. I'm not Bazinga. Bazinga is my dog. If you started watching this, you could see his picture. I'm using his name because anything I do here is the one that will be liable for it. So nothing can be pinned on me. The goal for this is to create 1 hour sessions where we will take one idea and start building an application. The need for this comes because a lot of people come to us after training telling us, okay, I've done training, I know how to build a data model, logic, screens, but I have difficulties in starting a project. How do I start? What should I do first? So the idea here is to start with an idea, start building an application that will change along the way, building bit by bit, refactoring, and show how this is done. To start, we need to have an idea, right? Let's look at the idea that I have here that I want to build. So one of the sports that I play as an hobby, it's paddle. It's a racket sport that is played by four people, 2 against 2, and it's necessary to people want to improve, and the idea is to create a companion app, to support the journey to become a better player. We can call this the Padel Personal Coach, and I have some of the concepts already created here in a document, like the requirements that you have for anything you want to build, right? So we have the concept of the match. Inside each match, you will have the sets, so it's parts of the match. We want also to register the food, because the food that you ingest before playing the game influences your performance. How was the warm-up? How's your physical? How was your physical performance? Also mental performance. How many enforced errors you did? Tactical errors. Also, what did good? Like I said, this is a game where you play with a partner, right? And it's interesting to review partners because sometimes you don't know who your partner is. So it's kind of a must in this application to understand how did you manage to work with your partner. And because the idea is to have a coach that will analyze these reviews that we will make from each match we play, and then create a game plan based on the latest matches so we can improve in the next one. And with that game plan, it comes then the game plan analysis. It means after a game, did I follow the plan or did I just completely miss it? So some notes have also been taken here, like it's important to be able to record this with voice, because a use case for this is I'm going to play, then I'll just probably take my car and go back home, and while I'm going home, maybe using my voice, I can register all of this information in the application, so it's important to be able to. Okay, so to start all of these, we think we can start with the data model. Let's create here an application. Okay, I'm going to log in on this personal environment, and I'm going to create a new application. This is let's call the application the Padel Personal Coach. Okay, start from scratch, a phone app. Okay, and I'm gonna just say that this is yeah. Let's just copy paste if I have already here this written. Let's choose a color. For now, it's not important. We will work on the UI on other sessions. Let's just pick one color and create the application. Okay. Let's create the module. And all set. So let's go to the data model. Let's create a data model. Okay, so match will be the first entity that we have. It's going to be the match. And all will be built around the match. So the match as a date and a duration is made up of sets. Okay. A match has a start, date and time, and a duration. Okay. So let's start it on, right? Okay, date time, date and time the match. Time of match. Okay. Now the duration, right? The duration. I think for the duration, we can have an integer and let's say duration in minutes of the match. Okay, so we already have the started on and the duration. Okay, so we have another concept, right, that it's the sets. So we can create here a new, it's a set, and the set will have a match ID. Okay, so looking at here, we get the match and we get the set. Okay, moving on. Each set in the match can be played against the same opponent or a different one. Okay, so let's create a boolean here saying as same opponent. Okay, and let's just say true if the opponents are the same during all sets. Okay, because there are some match types where the opponents can change during the sets, and we need to cover that. Also, the partner can be different. Okay, so let's have this as the same opponent, has the same partner. True if the partner is the same during match. Okay, so we got this information. Now the match can happen in the context of a tournament, a mix, or a regular game with some friends. Okay, so let's create here a static for this one. It's gonna be the match type, right? Because this is not gonna change. It's not gonna change. Now also, I think what we just requires a label. So I'm just gonna remove everything else, and the label will be the identifier. So it's gonna be a text identifier, and let's add here a record. So the first one would be tournament. The next one would be a mix. And the other one, let's call it a regular game. Okay, regular game. Okay, let's add the space here. Okay, okay. Now, what we have on the match, it's also the match type. Great. Now we got this covered. Okay. It's important to know where the match was played because of the turf conditions, the temperature and ball quantities. Okay, because it was the style of play. Okay. So we need to have a location, right? Let's add also a static for the location. Maybe we can change this for a lookup, but for now let's use a static. Like I said, a lot of the things might change during the way while we're developing. It's good to see how to refactor, how to implement processes so we don't lose data when we refactor our data model, for example. So in this one, let's keep the label, and maybe we might need more information, but let's just keep the label for now. Let's give it a little bit bigger, the size. So, okay, one of the locations is a place where I usually play. Okay, let's give this to the label, right? And so the match also has the location ID. Okay, cool. Now, moving on, we have, okay, the turf conditions, okay, and okay, the turf conditions, it means that it might be slow, it might be fast, it might be sandy. So let's add here a new, that is turf condition. And the turf condition, it's just also a label, right? And for the record, we're gonna add a record. It's gonna be slow. It means the ball, when it hits the ground, slows down, okay, a lot. Just call it fast, so the ball doesn't slow that much. And sandy, okay, this one is important because it might be a little bit slippery. The ball will run faster, but it can be slippery for a feet. Now we have the turf conditions, and also the match will have the turf conditions. Now let's just drag this here. Okay, here we go. Let's see what more conditions we have. Okay, we have the temperature. So let's head here, the temperature, and let's make this an integer. So the description will be temperature in degrees Celsius. Right, and okay, ball quality. Okay, also ball quality, it's important to have. Again, we just need the label. Just remove this, and on the record, let's add a new record, so they can be new, which is good, right? They have a lot of pressure. They can be, let's call it half new. And get them old, so they don't have pressure and they're very hard to hit. Okay. Now this goes against to the match. Okay, the quality. So here we go. So we have the match type, the location, and all of this information about the match. I think it's pretty much covered. Okay, so let's move on to the set. Okay, it's part of a match, and as a final result, it can end when a team reaches 6 or 7 with advantage of 2 games or time limitation. Alright, so the set. Right? We are going to say that is okay. Games 1. Okay, number. Let's call this. Let's make this an integer. So this is the number of games that player win in the set. Okay. Now what we have is the games opponent won. Number of games that opponents win in the set. What? Let's do this. Alright. Now we have also time limitation. Okay, so let's here have the duration. Okay, let's make this an integer. So let's say duration in minutes of the set. If duration is 0, is different from 0, it means that the set was time limited. Okay, and after that we have how the rule for untying the game. Okay, so is golden point true if the untying was done with golden point, otherwise it means advantages. Okay, so also we get the set, right? The match, the games won, and the duration, and the is golden. Okay, now food, right? What food was ingested during the match? Okay, so for this, let's not overcomplicate. Just create your food, right? Let's have a description for what was. Information about what food was ingested that is relevant before the match. Okay. You don't want to know what you had for lunch, right? If you played at night, for example. So food also will have the match ID. Okay. Now we have the description and we have also the time before. So let's make this an integer and also time in minutes. That food was ingested before match. Okay, so we got food also, right? Now, let's go to warm-up. Okay, warm-up, registering warm-up. Okay, it is important to start if we arrive on time. Did a proper 10 minutes physical, okay, and which warm-up main moves were practiced. Okay, so let's go to warm-up. Okay, warm-up. Let's just say that is a match ID, right? Now, time before arrived before match. Okay, let's just put here the integer. Okay, time in minutes that the player arrived to the match before the match, right? To do warm-up. Cool. Now we need to know, okay, if the 10-minute schedule was, okay, minute workout executed. And it's going to be Boolean. So I was going to say true if if the player did the following well-known routine. Also we have the warm-up. Okay, the main moves. Okay, main moves executed. Okay, true if okay, and here we go. We also have the warm-up. So we already have the set, we already have the food, the warm-up, sets. So I don't think we're gonna create all of these, right? Let's just create some of this for now. So physical. So physical, right? So how we behaved in terms of So let's go here to the device. Let's do physical. And physical. Well, it has the match ID, right? Let's make this over here. You have the match ID, okay? Now physical. Store the influence of the physical condition. Okay. Behaved, how the body behaved. Okay. Body behavior. Okay, let's put it here. Let's add the description here. And fatigue. Okay, great. Now, okay, influence in decisions. Okay, so the influence in decisions. So it's important to be in physical shape because, let's make this bigger, because whenever you're playing, if you don't have all the oxygen you need, it will affect your judgment and your decisions. And in this game, 80% is decisions and 20% is executing those decisions. So we have the influence in decisions. And the other match was time to rest and stretch conveniently. Okay. As ended stretching. Okay, true if stretch convenient. Great. Now, physical. One last. It's any injury. Okay. Any injury or pain. Okay, let's make this a boolean. The description is true if injury occurred or any pain in the body. So like this, I think we already have a good to start the model. Like I said, during other sessions we will be creating more of this data. We will be changing, refactoring. So let's publish this for now so we can start this data model. Okay, next thing after we publish, I think we're gonna just build a really simple screen so we can see a list of matches, for example, that we have. Okay, let's go here to the interface. Let's create a new, let's call this the home. Oops. Call this the home. I'm gonna create my screen. Now, I don't want, people to be accessing this. So I want to protect this. I don't want just registered. I want to do more. I want to go to the roles, and I'm gonna say that this is a PadelPlayer because that's the role that I want for this. Okay, in the future we might have different roles, so let's look what way we have here. So just gonna remove the register and having here the PadelPlayer. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get my matches here in my list. Let's say when it started, the duration, we don't care about this, match type, location, yeah. Let's leave these 4. Okay. And here we go, here we have the information. Now, let's just put the name here, Personal Coach. Okay, we'll change the look and feel of this, just for now. So, just a little quick changes here. So we're gonna put this on top because the location is what we need more. When did we play? What was the duration? Okay, and the duration, we can have this, the duration, and we're gonna add like minutes. And also I want to see what was the game type, right? So let's add here an expression, get messages, leads, current, match that location. Okay, nice. So we'll have the location here. Let's just move the location here, and just on the styles, it's just this will fill all the lines so we can have all the. Okay, now we will get this data and we will be able to see it. So let's just publish this. If everything goes right, we won't see anything because we don't have any data on the database. But more important, we have created a role, and only if we have the role, we can access this. Yeah. Oops. Okay, what happened here? Why was there a row or an error? Okay, it's now loading. Well, I don't like to use this like this. I usually do like this. Okay. So as you can see now, we need to have a user to log in on our application. Okay, so that user it's not the user that we have been using so far, because the user we have, it's the applicational, it's not an applicational user, right? It's the service center user. So we need to go for our list of application users to the users, okay? And here I am, okay? I'm actually already logged in, but one of the things that I wanted to show you, because this happened to me in the other day, is, so we need to have a username, and usually the username is the admin. And if you don't know the password, there's a way to reset this password. The way you can do this is on Service Center. Let's open here Service Center. We need to log in here. Let's go to the user module. This is a module users, and if you see, you have the single signing on, and you have this configure administrator user. So when you click this, you can have a new password, okay? And you can use this to reset your password. So I'm just gonna apply. I'm gonna just change the administrator password. So now if I use the password that I've changed, I'm able to log in, okay? Let's save this for now. So in terms of the players, let's use, we already have a user here, and the user, you see, it has no roles. So I know who Bazinga is. So I'm gonna say on the username, I'm gonna use Bazinga, right? Oops. And on the password, I'm just gonna use my password. And I don't have permissions, okay? So what I'm going to do, it's actually, I'm going to come here to my model users, and I'm going to give the role to Bazinga that is going to be the Padel player from the Padel Personal Coach. So I'm going to add the role to Bazinga, and now I'm going to say that I want to log in with Bazinga, right? And I'm going to say that I have, and here I am, okay? Well, let's just save this for now. Okay, so I'm logged in because I have the right role, right? But I cannot see anything because I don't have any data. So, we need to create some data, right? Let's add here that functionality. Okay, let's add an icon plus here. And with this, we're just gonna send to a new screen where we're gonna call new match. Okay, and on the new match, we are going to have some information here about the match. Okay, now this is where things get a little bit divided between people. So some say that you shouldn't use the structure or the entity that we have on the database to use on the screen in our logic, because it will be coupled to the data. So if you change anything on your data model, it will have immediate changes also on your UI. On the other hand, some people say that we should do that because this is one of the big advantages of the platform, is that everything is linked. And it will improve your productivity. You don't need to be rewriting other structures. Now, in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm actually using the first approach. So I'm going to create the structures here. So maybe I come from, also have a front-end background, and we know that in the UI components, you shouldn't have anything attached to the logic or to the business, not logic so much to the business. So let's create a structure here. Okay, I'm gonna call this structure at the match structure. You'll see this will be helpful also when we start refactoring. Okay, and let's not store all the information for now. Let's just take, from the match, the started on, the duration, the match type, and the location. I think we can use this. So let's just use here. Okay, we have the start and the rotation, the match, and the location. Okay, now we're gonna have here a match. Okay, a match. Let's just call this match again. Okay, and so I'm gonna just lie here a form, and on this form I'm just gonna put the match. Okay, so I have the duration. Doesn't need to be so big. Sorry. So started on match type. I'm just gonna share here also the label and the location. So let's just order this as we know it. So location will come first, match type, oops, not this one. Location will come first, then match type, then started on, then duration, and let's do the save. Let's do the save. Okay, so we'll have all of this information. So on save, let's keep the validations. Now here, we're not gonna change a lot of things in the front end. Just let's use this to see what we have, right? So one of the things that I'm gonna create is on my server actions. I'm gonna have here the create a new match, okay? And this will receive the match structure. That's right, to call it match structure. Okay, and so one of the things that we're gonna do in here, it's actually gonna call the create match, right? And on the source, we're gonna start mapping. So on the started on, we're gonna use this one. On the duration, we're gonna use this one. On the match type, we're gonna use the match type, and the location, we're gonna use the location. Okay. Now this create new will just create this, right? So whenever we save, let's look when it's not valid, right? Let's just show a message here. Let's show an error, and it should be the widgets form. Well, let's not do anything. Let's not overcomplicate now the UI. Okay, so when we have it's valid, let's create a new match. Okay, the match will be the match that we have, and we should go back to the home screen. And one of the things I wanted to do here is I'm gonna just have an exception handler. Okay, I'm gonna catch all the exceptions. So exception handling is something that we're also going to deal in the next sessions. So I'm just gonna, just show a message. An error message, of course, with the exception message. So let's say show error. Okay. And yeah, that's it. Let's just new match. Let's just change here for the registered for PadelPlayer only. Okay. And let's publish this. Now that is published, let's just refresh here real quick. It has already been updated, so I don't have anything yet here. So I'm gonna create a new location. Let's say it was a mix. So the start date, we can choose this date, right? Let's just select, maybe it's 10 p.m., 10:03 p.m. And duration, let's say it's 90 minutes. Okay, so now when we save, we just store that in the information and we show the information here. Okay, so there's something that we need to change here because I did a mistake. So the location that we have here, we don't want the location ID, right? We want the location, the label, okay? Because in this case, the ID is not the string. Okay, so let's publish this again. And here we will have, oh, not the location, sorry. Here it's gonna be the match dot match type ID. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, the match type ID. And so let's refresh. Here it is, and it's okay. It was this mix that was played. Okay, now we have more information to collect. So on the next session, I think we're gonna probably end the data model, but also start thinking how we can collect the data. And I would like to build this application as API first. So it would be interesting to see how we can also build. To summarize, we started with just the concepts, with text on a notebook, and now we have a not finished application, of course, but we already have an interesting data model. We already have some structure on the way we're going to build our logic, also roles and some screens. So I think we just kickstart this. So I want to thank everyone for watching this, and hope you can stay tuned for the next session. Thank you very much.